And hello there, folks. Coming to you live from a very special edition of Justin's channel. This is J.R. Jones, and we are here to host the OTSL draw for Season 6. We are both so excited to have you here. I know Justin is. He can't wait to get started. And shout out to him. My internet randomly decided to crash today, and crews are working on it, but I have none. So without him, we would be delaying the season a couple days. So thank you, Justin.
You're quite welcome, JR. I'm happy to be here and helping you to host this event so we can get back to League Twilight Struggle for those of us who jumped the gun and finished their ITSL season early.
Yes. There haven't been enough streams recently, so I'm excited to get this and RTSL started so we can start watching more Twilight Struggle. So just a quick background for everyone. This year for OTSL, we are doing 2 divisions, gold and silver, like we did the last couple of years. And this year we're going to have 70 players per division. With the number of signups we had, this made the most sense. It means we'll have a small starting wait list, but players typically drop earlier in the season, and everyone who signed up should be in soon. And if you aren't signed up yet, feel free to add to that wait list because we will probably need more players before the end of the season. You can see we have our pots here. We've got 10 pots with 7 players each. Justin will be rolling those for us, and I will be updating the spreadsheet on my phone in the background. Playoffs and relegations are going to be exactly the same. So still 24 players going to the playoffs in both, and 24 players being demoted from gold down to silver. I think that's pretty much all of the technical information. So, Justin, if you're ready, we can get spinning here.
Sorry, JR. I believe in the past we just to confirm. In the past we had, I think, the bottom 3 in each division be relegated. And so we're only going to have, I believe, 7 divisions this year. So that would mean only 21 folks would get relegated. Now, I assume there are 24 players would make the playoffs in silver. So that'd be 24 promoted, 21 relegated. How are we going to find those last 3 relegation spots from gold?
We're going to have a slightly different format this year for relegations.
Oh, okay.
With just the bottom 24 players by record, not necessarily by division. This is also just a little more fair because some players get into really tough divisions where everyone in their division is doing great. Van's, 6 and 8 or something out of their 14 games, and get relegated where someone who 4 or 5 wins doesn't. So we're just going to go with the bottom 24 players getting relegated across gold.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I know there has been some discussion in the past about some divisions being ridiculously tough in gold. So glad to hear that it'll be less dependent on your division and more just dependent on overall record.
Yeah, of course, if you still have a tough division, you have to play all those players. So
yes, but
still a little unlucky if you get that, but not quite as much.
Yes, so the season is 14 games, and so you will have 6 division games and 8 non-division games. So even a tough division shouldn't sink anybody, right? Or no, excuse me, I'm completely wrong. Of course, I was thinking you play everybody in your pot, but it's the opposite. You play one person in each of the other pots. So you have 9 division games and 5 non-division games, which is what everybody's had in the past, I believe. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. Yes. So you'll have 9 division games and 5 out of division games against random opponents.
Okay. Yeah. I was a math major in college, folks. I'm good at math. All right. Well, JR,
Nice.
I guess are we ready to go and to start spinning the wheels?
Yeah, let's do it. And I think we agreed before stream, but we aren't going to talk a ton about each player as we draw them. But once a division is filled out, we'll take a holistic look at the group and chat then, because otherwise we're going to be here all day.
Yeah. Looks like we've already got 13 viewers on the channel, so thanks everybody for watching. That's a pretty good viewer count for me, but I think that's because JR promoted in the WhatsApp channel as well. Anton already feeling chatty today, but everybody else, I hope you'll join in the chat and talk a little bit of trash. And so here we go. We'll start with pot 1. So I believe I set the wheel to be about 3 seconds. Okay. We've got Jeremy Anders.
Jeremy,
So,
first pick in the draft.
all right. So these wheels are just gonna. Okay, we got Patrick making his return from silver. Pot 3, Antoine. Is this a good pace for you, JR? JR is writing down the things as I spin the wheels.
Slow down just a little bit here.
Okay.
And then one question for you, Justin. One question for you here.
Yeah.
Jeremy was in pot 2. Did you miss pot 1 there?
Yes, I sure. I'm sorry. I have 9 of these up.
No problem.
They okay, and here's here's pot 4 and 5. Yeah, I just completely. I'm sorry, Jr. Already screwing everything up. I think I accidentally put pot 1 in the other.
No worries.
Yeah, let's just create pot 1 here real quick. Sorry, folks. Don't know what I'm doing here, but yes, pot 1. Which will start with Tomasz, the defending champion, and go through BH Jew, Grand Slam Juggernaut. Okay, so now we'll spin pot 1 here, which we should have started off. Oh, and it's Pavel Janoszewski.
Tough pull for the rest of the guys in this pot already.
Yes, so we have 3 names, and now we'll move on to pot number 4, which contains yours truly. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel there. And it's going to be Josiah Emery.
Sorry, we had 4 names. You had already pulled Antoine Daniel from this pot.
Yep, that's right.
So go ahead and put Josiah back in that one, and we will redraw that when it comes to that.
I'm so glad you're
no worries.
Me here.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
I have a bunch of wheels open because I wanted to prep them and have the right name so we didn't have to wait, and it's causing things to stall a little bit, and so that's my bad. Okay, so this is pot 4.
We'll get the system down
out of this pot. So now pot 5, Craig, Chaim.
Perfect.
Harry, Warren, you, Mark, and Max. So we don't have anybody from this pot. This is pot 5, and I'm going to click it.
Yep.
Okay. Warren Wells.
It looks like we got Warren.
All right. Pot number 6. We have Sophie. Pot number 7. Michal? Someone, perhaps he is listening on the stream, can tell us. I try to be good with pronunciations, but it's much easier when I'm calling a game between 2 people rather than a draw with 140. Okay, here we are.
Oh, I'm very glad that it worked. I'm very glad it worked out this way with you having to say most of the names here.
Yes, I know. You conned me into this. Okay. All right, Brad, the real McCoy. And here we are on pot 9 with Albert. And finally, pot 10. So we'll round out the first division of 10 players with Hervé. All right, so if I go over to the standings. There we go. All right,
should load in. There we go.
Initial impressions of this division.
I think this is a tough division. I bet I'll press that for most of these gold divisions, but Pavel is going to be a tough pull. If you went strictly by our rating criteria, he was the number 1 overall player. I believe he's still number 1 ITSR at the moment. Great player, going to be a tough pull. Jeremy, Patrick, both good players. I think for pot 10, Hervé's a very tough pull. I think he's a very good player, and he's not who you want to get out of that pot 10 group.
Yeah, hardly a free win, although those don't really exist in the OTSL Gold League. So this will be an interesting one. Okay, JR, should we move on to division number 2, Animal in Space?
Let's do it.
Okay. All right, so we should have 6 names left in all of these. First is pot 1. Here's a name. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know.
No, I don't. I've never really heard of that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably from a state that isn't even good at TS. So
No, absolutely not. Yeah, probably don't have any stars on their flag. Okay, here we are in pot number 2, and it's Alex. The wheel didn't really spin. All right, but it's Alex. Pot number 3.
we trust the wheel, even if it didn't spin that much.
Yes. My computer is angry at me that I have 20 of these open. So perhaps that was a bad idea and something I'll do better next time. And yet this one works fine. Okay. Stephen Darby from the UK.
Okay.
And pot number 4. Is it going to be? Yes, it is. Good. Well, I'll get a game with one Michael Stryker. So that's good. All right, JR.
That'll be a fun one. Can't wait to see that streamed.
Yeah, hoping to get JR here in this division. We'll see. Come on. No. It's Harry.
I am not. Okay.
Harry.
I'm okay with that.
Harry is Harry, very good player. And maybe the name I least want to see out of this pot. So okay. All right, moving on to pot number 6. Casey Alexander, Team Washington fan.
And an upstart. He's been shooting up in rating.
Yeah, silver last year, I believe. It did really well, made it to the semifinals or maybe even the finals. But heck of a year for him last year. Okay, pot number 7. Peter France. Peter and Anton, the 2 names I was hoping to dodge here, and sure enough, I get Peter. All right, well, you know what? Gonna have my schedule cut out for me. Just gonna try and avoid relegation here. Okay, pot 8. S.J. Hong out of South Korea. Pot number 9. We have Camille. Folks, if I don't say anything after these names, it doesn't mean that I don't think that person's a good player. It just probably means I don't know much about them. And here we are with pot 10 as we round out the division with Emily. All right, JR, show us this division, and what do you think? This doesn't seem like a free ride for me, so I don't know. What are your thoughts?
No, I'm between you, Michael, Peter, who I think I've never beat. I'm very glad I didn't get pulled into this division. That is a tough one for sure. Like I mentioned, I'm excited to see how Casey does. He started playing not that long ago. I think it was Western League was the first league he participated in. Didn't do great there, but then he dominated OTSL Silver, like you said, made it almost to the finals, and so I'm playing really well. So excited to see how he does with this stiff competition in this group.
Yeah, and JR, since you made me spin all these wheels, I'm going to take a moment to promote a stream that I'm going to be having next week. So on Wednesday, the district will be back in action, and we will be taking on Team Washington and Casey Alexander. So that'll be our second U.S. Cup game. Our first one was a victory over Team Illinois, so we'll be looking to go to 2-0. So hope you'll join us for that. But I look at this division.
Very excited to watch that one.
And I'm just, I'm not pleased. Michael Stryker, obviously a great player, Captain America himself. Alex, an excellent player in his own right, an ARZ contributor. Someone who likes my YouTube videos, though, so that I always appreciate. I don't know Steven well. Looking forward to playing him, and then Harry and Peter, obviously both big names in the community as well. Peter having an excellent ITSL season. His ITSR in itself might not inspire fear, but his ITSL record 17-2-1. That's good for the number one overall seed in ITSL in the Calgary conference this year. So no question he'll be a tough out. Now I will point out that one of those two losses was to yours truly, but Peter, an excellent player, and lots of those in this division.
Yeah. Also, quick shout out to Emily M Dash there, who is very active in the community and is one of the main people who's making any mods for the game. She was the one who released that speed up the animations mod.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. So, shall we move on to number 3?
Yes, let's.
Okay, so let's do that. And who we got? Oh, Harid.
Only the number 2 player in the world by ITSR right now. Not a huge threat.
No. Yeah, he's an easy out. And we've got Aaron. Pot 3. Yuri.
So close to getting the Spanish Derby.
Oh yeah,
in this group.
getting the two getting Harid and Ani in the same division. Yes. Pot number 4 is going to be Josiah. Pot number 5. And it's Mark. Okay. Sorry, we've got some chatters and I'm not really keeping up. JR normally monitors the chat, but he's on his phone. Okay. We've got the darts. Anton. I know Anton's watching.
There's someone. We'll have to ask his opinion of this group after we pull the last couple.
Yep, and early review FFS. Can't imagine what that stands for. Harib again. So Anton not pleased. Pot number 8 is Jan. Pot number 9. Angus. And pot number 10. Arik. I recognize this name. I thought is Arik. He's one of those elite async players. For some reason I don't know. Could be making that up.
I think that might be right. His name does look familiar. So for me, looking at this division,
he runs Rats 7-day tournaments. So yes, he's an async player, one of the leading async players. So yes, okay. Here we have the Man in Space division, so our 3rd division, and some good players here as well. A couple of all-stars in Harib and Yuri, maybe even 3. I know Aaron was an all-star a couple years ago. Not sure if he is this year. And then, of course, popular and beloved, of course, streamer Anton Scott as well.
Yeah, and if I was this group, I would be pretty sad that I pulled Jan out of pot 8. He's been on a bit of a slide ITSR wise, which maybe got him down a couple pots lower than I think he would deserve. So I think that's a pretty tough pull from someone who's in one of the bottom 3 pots for
Yeah.
sure, just from personal experience playing with him.
Yeah, I know he's a very good player. I think he was number 1 overall seed I don't know. Yeah, Anton. I don't know that he went 14-0 a couple seasons ago, but in season 3, the year I won it all, he was the number 1 overall seed. I think he might have been 13-1. But yes, very good player, and not a guy you're hoping to draw out of pot 8. Okay, moving right along to the Man in Earth Orbit division. We have 4 names left for each division. And Ryan Kinderlich, season 4 champion.
And just like everyone in this pot 1, an absolutely great player.
Yep. And pot 2, it's Peter, former number 1 player. Pot number 3, Scott Sennett, of Pennsylvania fame, now residing in Vietnam. Pot number 4 is Steven. Pot number 5 is Max.
Just ramping up the tension here, never putting me in a group.
Yeah. All right, pot number 6. I always want to say Tasos, but there's no way it's Tasos. Is it Tassos?
I think it's Tassos, yes,
Tassos or
but
Tassos? Tacos or taxes?
any Europeans out there want to
Tacos.
put their opinion in the chat?
Yeah. Tacos, so Tassos. All right.
Tassos?
All right.
Tassos. That makes
Okay.
sense to me.
All right. Tassos. I always say
A player who
Tasos in
needs
my
no
head,
introduction.
and that's
Everybody knows who
yeah.
Tassos is.
I always say Tasos in my head, and that's the one pronunciation I know is wrong. Anyway, pot number 7 is Nils. Pot number 8, Fabrizio. Pot number 9 is Charlie Wilson. And rounding out this division is Alejandro. Okay. All right, JR. Man in Earth Orbit division. Headed by the season 4 champion, one season removed from the top spot on the podium. Thoughts on this division?
Yeah, I can't speak a lot to some of these players, but the top 3 in this division are all very, very strong players who I would not want to play any of them. So having to play all 3 of them is going to be tough. And Tassos is also a tough pull out of the 6th spot. It also means if you're in this division that the second we release the spreadsheet tomorrow, you will be receiving an email asking when you can play from him.
Yes, there's no doubt about that. So everybody's going to be able to get started early in this division, which is great, you know. And one of the things that I've heard people complain about is scheduling, and it's hard to get in touch with people, and people don't respond. Well, folks, anybody in this division, you're going to have one game where you're not going to have to send an email, and somebody's going to respond to you very quickly. So you can be happy about that.
That's right.
Next division, we have 3 names left. And we have Frank of Team Illinois fame.
Alright. I'm wanting this division. I need revenge.
Yes, Frank made JR very sad last night. And we have Chris.
Chris, a good player, plays in Pacific League with us.
Yes, Youngjun Park. Not to be confused with Young Bay Park. Youngjun comes out of pot 3. Pot 4 is Rodrigo. Pot number 5. JR hoping for this division. Will he get it? He will not. It's going to be Craig.
Craig, of course, the person who runs this league. So thank you, everyone. Say thank you to him for all that he does to get this ready for us.
Yes, indeed. And here we are in pot 6. David Chu. Pot number 7. JR. Tell me what this name is.
What, you don't know how to say that? Honestly, I don't even know where to begin on that one.
My guess is the Z is silent. It's Premek, but I'm sure that's way, way off. So okay.
I think that was a great effort, though.
Yeah.
Any Polish people out there will probably give you credit for your effort.
Jeremy saying it's pronounced and then just copying and pasting the name. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Here we are, pot 8. Isaac. Oh, Shimek. Okay. Oh, all right. That makes sense. Username and yes, Shimek. All right. Okay, Isaac from pot 8. That name I know. Pot number 9 is Daniel. And pot number 10 is... It's going to be Michael McKibbs. Played against Michael in person a couple of days ago, or last weekend rather, at PresCon. That was fun. Good guy, a Grinnell pioneer, just like myself. And okay, we've got the Lunar Orbit Division. JR, break it down for us. Frank Zhang here in leading off this division, and some notable names here as well, and some names that we have struggled to pronounce.
Yeah, Frank, a good player for sure. 2-0 in Champions League. Don't know who his 2 wins are against. Hard to say, but doing well there. Chris is a very good player. He always has a very strong showing in Pacific League, and very active. Craig, of course, like I said. Leader David Chu. He plays a ton of lobby games. If you're in the lobby when he's awake, you'll see him joining your game regularly. And Isaac, a very good player, very contributing member of the community. So glad to see him there too.
Yes.
I can't say that I know much about Youngjun Park, but I'm sure he's a tough opponent since he was in pot 3.
Yeah, we had a great game in ITSL. I was able to win that one, but he's definitely a good player. And yes, obviously many people are saying that it was a great player that Frank beat to go 2-0 in Champions League. I'm not sure who it is, but many people are saying it's just victory over an elite player. That's how you get into pot 1, right?
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so 2 divisions left, and we'll just spin the wheel here and fill out both divisions at the same time. Tomasz.
Yep.
We're going to Eagle.
And there he is,
the
reigning champion.
Yep. Season 2 champion as well. And that puts BH.
Reigning champion and
JR, you're cutting out a little bit. I heard you say 2-time champion, but you are cutting out a little bit. Yes, Tomasz and then BH. So, and then pot 2. A couple of Polish players. We'll have Bartosz and then Yarek in the last division. Pot number 3, Ani Palmer. And then Makis in the last division. Pot number 4. I thought it was pronounced Ferret when I Googled it, but everyone seems to say Ferrat, so we will say Ferrat. And then Andrea in the, or Andrea perhaps, in the last division out of pot 4. Pot 5 is Hyman and somebody named J.R. Jones in the last division.
Had to make sure I got drawn last.
Yep, you are last. Peter pointing out that that everyone who's last doesn't get a round of applause from the app. Roger Jolly out of pot 6. And Ajoy in the last division. Pot number 7 will be Lucas. And Richard in the last division. Pot number 8 James and Luis in the last division. Pot number 9 Laurent, I assume. And then Tomas in the last division. Finally, it is Alexander. And in the last division, I'm going to guess Jacek? I don't know. JR, do this one. All right. JR.
Got it.
JR somehow. JR going to stay silent. All right. Jacek.
Sorry, that was rapid fire. I was
that's right. I gave you the same amount of time.
speeding to get those names all
Sorry, I gave you the same amount of time to do twice the work. So sorry, my bad on that one. Jacek. So I was way off. Both ones were the Polish names that were just complete guesses. I was way, way off. So I need to do a lot better on my Polish names. Thank you, username and use 1619, for keeping me in check there. But okay, we have got. Also, I should know who that person is. I have played against him in the lobby, and I am forgetting who it is. So bad job me. But we've got last two divisions here. We got the defending champ, and then of course we have you, JR. What are you thinking about these divisions?
Eagle Bear looks like another very, very tough division to me. Ani, Farrat, Hickam, all great players. Laurent is also a very good player out of pot 9 there. Lucas, a very good player. And then, of course, no one wants to be in the division with the defending champ who just won the whole thing. So that's a tough one.
Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, apparently username and use is Tomas, and I forgot about him. So I'm sorry about that. And I literally just drew his name out of the hat. Okay. But we've got, so that is OTSL Gold. Now, before we move on to Silver, JR, you know what? I'm going to put you on the spot, even though this is technically your stream and I'm just tagging along. I'm going to put you on the spot here. Give me the group of death.
Oof, that's a tough choice. I think your group might be the group of death there, Justin. That looks like a tough one to me.
Yeah, a lot of well-known names. You know, a lot of divisions have well-known names at the top, but my group has well-known names really top to bottom. So I think my division might be the deepest.
Yeah.
Maybe not the most top-heavy, but certainly I think the deepest. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Lots of good players there. Lots of good players everywhere here in OTSL Gold. But okay, so these are locked in. So JR, we're going to move on to silver here. But I know JR and Patrick are hard at work on the schedule, and they'll be emailing that out very soon so we can get to playing. And JR, shall we move on to silver?
Yeah, let's move on to silver.
All
I'm
right.
excited to,
I'm going
we
to
should be getting the spreadsheet.
keep talking, JR. I'm just going to move the just do a little maintenance here and close out these wheels and move the other wheels around.
Sounds good. We should be getting the schedule finalized this evening, so we can send out the spreadsheet either later this evening or tomorrow sometime, so we can get started as soon as we get that out. And I didn't talk about my group, so while you're getting that ready, I'll just chat about that. Um, not thrilled with it. Joy, I've played several times, and specifically, he's a great player. I know I've played Luis before, Tomas before. Those are both great players. Um, Yarick, I don't know that I've played him in a normal game, but when I tried out Rats, he absolutely kicked my ass in async a couple times. That was when I was brand new, and he was very nice and helped me learn a lot about the game. And then BH is a tough top pick. He's a great player. So looking forward to playing that.
Yes. Okay. Well, I've got the names ready, and oh, Derek has joined us on the stream. I know he's not in our he's not talking right with us right now, but he is on the chat, and there has been some there's been a groundswell of support in the chat for Derek and Matt to be drawn into the same division. So let's hope it happens, folks. JR, are we ready to go?
Can you reshare your screen in this
Oh,
Discord call that we are in behind the scenes?
yes. I didn't realize that I had unshared it. Sorry about that, folks. Some minor technical difficulties here. Hold on just a moment. Let's
And
share
yeah,
my
just make sure when you get to Derek and Matt that you do use the cheat wheels that we set up previously
Yes, I'll
to make
hide
sure
my
that they
I'll,
get in the
I'll
same
hide my
group.
screen. I'll act like it's the real wheel, but I'll hide my screen. Okay.
Yeah, of course, of course.
So okay, JR, can you see my screen?
Yep, good to go.
All right. Can you see my screen? The official anthem of COVID-19. Okay. Here we go. Derek says, I'm spending my hallway supervision watching this. So, all right. So, Derek supervising some unruly kids and perhaps supervising the draw as well. So, let's see if we just draw his name right away. We will not. It's Rami, who knocked me out of the Blitz tournament. I needed to beat him to advance and could not do it. Next is Dylan. Pot 3 is Tom Riley. There's a name I can pronounce. All right. Pot number 4. Wu Lee. Pot number 5. Oh, Matt is here, so hoping not to see Matt's name drawn. And it's going to be Mark Stein. So, Derek and Matt in the same division just got a little more likely.
The dream lives on.
Yep. Pot number 6, Paul Sampson. Pot number 7, Sam Russell. Pot number 8 is Salvatore.
Wouldn't that be Salvatore?
I was wondering if it was Salvatore. Let's hope that it is. Andres from pot number 9. And finally, in pot number 10, Simon Brown. Okay, so we go to the list here, and I will be honest with you, Jr. I'm simply not familiar with these names other than Rami. Have you come across any of these players?
Don't believe that I have. Same thing. I'm not. Of course, I'm not saying anyone in silver is not good, but might have a little less to talk about here, just because some of these players are newer, which is why they're in silver. So, I'm just not as familiar with these names.
Yep, and I'm sure among these names are, one of those next big Twilight Struggle household names, one of the next big stars. Just don't know who it is yet because some of these folks are new to the community, but looking forward to see what they can do. Okay, we will move on to pot number 2, or excuse me, not pot number 2, division number 2. Derek, JR, this is a question for JR. Derek, I don't know the answer. JR, how did pots work? Derek says he's played very badly over the last few months and is surprised he's in pot 1.
It is a combination of your play deck and your ITSR. Derek might think he's not playing great for him, but he is down in silver rather than in gold, where the ITSRs and play decks tend to be a little lower. So even if he's not necessarily at his peak, he still is, doing pretty well, all things considered, amongst the overall community. Sometimes some of the streamers can trash talk themselves pretty hard and talk about how bad we are, but most of the people who stream still usually hang around in the top 100 ITSR or so. So if you're pretty high, you're gonna still do okay, even if you're not at your peak.
Yeah, we streamers like to beat ourselves up about bad moves and each other, really, and rightfully so. That's part of being a streamer. So yes, I definitely agree with that. And yes, we had someone ask, "Will this be uploaded to YouTube as well?" Yes, I will upload it to my YouTube channel. I know some of the folks in Korea have a tough time viewing the Twitch videos on demand, but they can look on YouTube. So I will load it up there. Thank you for asking. Okay, now we are on to the second division. Let's see if we get Derek here. We do not. Oh, it's going to be Jordan Cass.
A great player, someone we all know, a streamer. Go follow him at Donzo Bean if you don't.
Yeah, definitely a guy who streams his games. Fun to watch. Good player. So, okay. Joseph. Derek, already ahead of the game in terms of setting up Midwest League. I haven't even sent out emails about Atlantic yet, so at some point I'll do that. All right, pot number 3, Alessandro. Pot number 4, Leonard. All right, pot number 5. Let's everybody hold their breath. Don't want to see Matt here. And things got a little more likely. It's Alexander out of pot 5. Pot number 6. Chris Flynn. Another easily pronounceable name. George Young, who also plays Atlantic League, coming out of pot number 7. Out of pot number 8, we have, I'm guessing this is David instead of David, but I could be wrong about that. Pot number 9. Joseph Leone of Team Pennsylvania. And rounding out division number 2 is Rafal. All right, so 5 names left in each pot. And we go to the Alliance for Progress.
Thoughts on that one, Justin? I know you know a couple of those guys.
Yeah, Jordan Cass, obviously a very strong player, streams his games, always fun to watch. Trying to get to 50 followers, and then we all have to be annoyed by the ads. But right now, we can watch him ad-free at Donzo Bean, so no excuse not to watch, not to go over and watch him. And then, of course, George Young, a name I know from Atlantic League, a good player despite the low ITSR. And then Joseph Leone, very nice guy I've played in Atlantic League before, plays with Team Pennsylvania from time to time. And a board game aficionado as well in general, not just Twilight Struggle. So some familiar names in this division among some names that I also don't know and look forward to getting to know.
Great.
Moving along to the Evil Empire division. And it's going to be Owner. Step on out of pot number 2. Aaron out of pot 3. Ed Prem, the Colonel, out of pot 4. Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, no.
What have you done?
We forgot to use our cheat wheel. Derek says he can sleep soundly tonight. Yeah, I'm very happy to see Matt in a different division. Well, JR, now it is your responsibility to make sure that the, quote, random number generator that picks the schedules still gives us a Matt Derek matchup in the out of conference games, in the out of division games.
Of course, yeah, no problem.
Make sure that randomly happens. Here we are in number 6, and that's Eniko. Pot number 7 is Matt. Pot number 8 is Caroli. Number 9, Ashley Freeman. Another fellow streamer, I do believe. And pot number 10 is Pat Hamlet. Okay, so not a lot of familiar names in this one. JR, I don't know if you have anything to say. Obviously, Ed and Matt here are definitely familiar names for me. Ed with his own channel, his own YouTube channel, doesn't stream his games live, I don't believe, but Gaming with the Colonel on YouTube, you can catch his games there the next day. And then, JR, what can you say about Matt Dominski?
Matt MA66, he doesn't miss. So watch out to anyone who has to play him. I will make sure that we rig it as much as we can so that we get that inter-division Derek Matt matchup that we all want. He's also been streaming more, so go check him out. Yard Swimmer. You can watch his games on Twitch.
Yeah. Just don't stride into Pakistan. Just concede Pakistan and India against Matt.
Yeah, that's right.
What's good for you. All right, moving on to the Socialist Governments Division. 4 divisions left. Ted On, who just knocked me right out of the Seoul Grand Slam. Matthias. David Hayes out of pot 3. Peter out of pot 4. Mike Logan out of pot 5. David out of pot 6. Nicholas out of pot 7. Browning out of pot 8. Claudio out of pot 9. And Jose Luis out of pot 10. So, JR, I believe you played David in the Blitz tournament. Is that right?
Yeah, I think I played David a couple of times across a couple of tournaments. He's definitely a good player. One person I did want to point out there is in the 8 slot, Browning Gentry. Him and his brother Chris have participated in ITSL this year, and their ranks aren't great yet, but both of them I thought were very good players who played well above their play deck and their ITSR ratings. So that's someone I would keep an eye on for one of those guys who might take off here. I thought he was a very good player. I played both of them. One of them beat me. I lost, and one of them I just snuck out a win against. I think I might have snuck out the win against Browning, but he was a very good player and not someone to take lightly at all.
Yeah, I definitely made the mistake of taking him a little bit lightly early on. As he had a play deck rating of 1,300. I think it was his first game of the season, and I barely beat him by 2 VPs in final. So definitely a good player not to be trifled with in this division. Okay, 3 names left, and let's see who we'll get here. Oh, it's going to be Derek. So Derek will find find out his division here in OTSL Silver. So we'll start with Derek.
That's nice. He's got to get back to teaching the youth.
Yes. And Henry from pot 2. Mark Overstreet from pot number 3. Pot number 4, Chris Dolliver. Pot number 5, Adrian Jarko. Knocked me right out of, beat me in ITSL this year. Michael Drain out of pot 6. Tomas out of pot 7. Steven out of pot 8. Simon Gardner out of pot 9. And finally, Matt Dominski out of pot 10. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. It's Martin McMurray out of pot 10. So here's
Don't know a ton of the players in this group, but Derek going to be one of the toughest pulls in this. I think he's got a good shot of winning the whole thing, and would be shocked if he does not have a strong showing this season.
No question about it. Yep. The only other name I know well is Adrian, and then Martin as well. Martin plays in Atlantic League, 2-year veteran of Atlantic League. So looking forward to welcoming him back this year as well. Okay, We have 2 divisions left. So, JR, I'll try and go slower here since you're filling out 2 divisions.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we've got Justin Nordstrom, Team Pennsylvania president. And that leaves Vikram for the last division.
Okay.
We have Markel, which leaves Axel for the last division.
2 Basque players there.
Oh, okay. We have Katsurina. Sure I'm mispronouncing that. Apologize. And that leaves John. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that correctly for the last division. We have Drew, who also beat me in OTSL this season, which leaves Don for the last division. Chris Gentry. And that leaves Christoph for the last division. Tomasz out of pot 6, which leaves Mike for the last division. David out of pot 7, which leaves Mark for the last division. Sarah out of pot 8, which leaves Jake for the last division. Georgios out of pot 9, which leaves Francesco for the last division. And finally, Remy out of pot 10, which leaves Pedro for the last division. All right. Well, now we got everybody. So, all right, JR. So we've slotted all 140 players into their divisions. Everybody will play 9 division games, and then we'll have 5 non-division games, and so we're still gonna, despite smaller leagues, we're still gonna promote 24 players. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. We're going to keep the playoffs the same size. So 24 players will be promoted from silver. No one, of course, will be demoted in silver. We will have 24 players from gold be demoted, and then we will have 24 in the gold playoffs as well.
Very good. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for joining. Jr., any final thoughts on the silver divisions or on the OTSL's divisions in general?
Just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody who signed up. We had a ton of signups when I sent out that last notification reminding people to sign up. So really appreciate everyone who wants to play. It's a very fun league. It's going to be a good time. And it's going to be exciting. It's a very fun league with the gold and the silver differentiation, because you're in gold, every game is just a tough one. And if you're in silver, you get a chance to kind of shine and prove that you are willing, or a player who can get up to the gold division. So I think it's a lot of fun.
Yes, indeed. Okay, and yeah, we've seen some great players like Derek, like Patrick, actually wind up relegated to the silver division. So there's certainly no shame in that, and I'm sure there'll be a big name who finds himself in silver next year. And just I'm hoping that it will not be me, but who knows? It certainly could happen. That is the nature of Twilight Struggle. Looking forward to the season. I know I've been kind of out of league Twilight Struggles for a month or so since I wrapped up my ITSL regular season in January. So looking forward to getting back in, looking forward to getting back into league play. A lot of great players here in OTSL, and can't wait to get started.
Yeah.
Uh, um,
And just lastly, thank you so much, Justin, for hosting this. Literally could not have done it without you because my internet has been off this entire time. So very much appreciated. And if you guys don't know this, the viewers, Justin is now famous on YouTube. His last video got like over 2,000 views. So go like and subscribe, pump those numbers up. That's going to be his main source of income moving forward in his life.
there's no doubt about that. Yep. 30 seconds of controlled rage in a game against Team Illinois apparently went mini viral, and by viral I mean just was viewed by a few people outside of the Twilight Struggle community. So yes, please do go check that out. 30 seconds of me being furious and trying to contain my rage, as I talking to myself and my teammate Ted Livermore as I might talk to my toddler. So yes, that was definitely fun. But okay, I think we're going to wrap things up here. We can all head back to work or head to bed if you are in Europe. So Jr., before we wrap up, any final thoughts?
Nope. Thank you so much. And everyone just keep an eye out. The email with the spreadsheet and schedule should be coming out shortly. One last thing. If anybody, we do have 9 players currently on the wait list. So if you were watching this looking for your name and didn't see it, you are on the wait list. Um, Unfortunately, we just had to do that. But do not worry. I promise you, you will be getting into OTSL this season. There's almost no chance we have less than 9 dropouts. I think we had, around 30 or so last season. So you're gonna get in. Don't feel too bad.
Yep. Okay. Thanks everybody for joining. Thank you, Jr., for having me along. Looking forward to a fun OTSL season. So my next stream will probably be on Wednesday when we will have we'll have the district against Team Washington. Might get in a game before that. We'll see if Jr. versus Striker happens in the next few days, and maybe we'll stream that over here. But until next time, for Jr. Jones, this is Justin Abramson. That was fun, but now it's done. So long, everybody.